You can tell it's recording by the red light.
Yes, you can. Welcome back to the Animated Arcade. I'm John.
I'm Aaron.
This is a video game cartoon podcast where we watch, review, riff on, and share trivia about video game cartoons. And we're continuing through the Super Mario Bros. Super Show and The Legend of Zelda in its air date order.
In its what order?
Air date order.
What does that mean?
It's the order in which it aired, and the dates.
What date was that?
In this case, November 3rd, 1989. Another Friday, which means it's another Zelda episode. So, the episodes that we're looking at today is the Zelda cartoon episode Stinging a Stinger, and its live-action segment, The Great Hereafter, which originally aired... I said that part already, didn't I? November 3rd?
November 3rd.
Yeah. The part that I skipped was, if you want to watch the episodes we're watching today, you can legally watch the Zelda cartoon, at least, on the Wild Brain Superheroes YouTube channel.
You can buy the DVD.
This is one of the few episodes where that's almost worthwhile. Excuse me, I ran out of steam there. This is one of the few episodes on the old DVDs that has its live-action segment, number 4 of 5.
Yes.
And the N-Circle TV app, which also has the Wild Brain, transfers. It's the same.
Sorry, I had a sneeze coming and nothing happened.
Are you one of those bright light sneezers? Can you trigger it with your phone flashlight?
No.
I am, and I do.
Oh. Prove it.
Well, I have to already have a sneeze in the chamber. It doesn't,
You don't keep one in the chamber just in case? Home security, all that stuff?
Not when I'm recording. There's too much evidence left behind. All right, you want to get into it? You want to start with the live-action segment and get hooked on the brothers?
Yeah, let's get hooked on the brothers. Wait. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go.
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others. You'll be hooked
on the brothers. The brothers. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. All right, The Great Hereafter.
All right. So, Mario is having a nightmare. A terrible dream. His grandma has come to visit him.
She's standing...
right there.
Yeah. And, she's berating him and cuffing him about the head. Yeah. So obviously the cycle of abuse continues through the women in the Mario family. Because Mama Mario also tended to cuff him around the head.
It's a good thing Mario isn't having children.
Yeah. And not anytime soon, anyway, from what we've seen. Well, it depends. Is that robot lady going to come back from space with a paternity suit? Although, from what I remember, Mario would actually be really happy to see her again. I don't think that would be a problem.
No. I kind of remember her not wanting him. Wait, no.
No, she just had to go home.
Yes.
Back to her home planet. But, no, they were really into each other, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since we watched, what was that one? What was it called?
Stainless in Seattle.
That was a great title. That's one of your best. Okay, but no, Luigi wakes up Mario.
Yes, because Mario's having this nightmare, and goes on like Mario's saying that apparently this has been happening every night for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was so real, Luigi, like she was standing right there.
Yeah,
and basically, he can see her and she's talking, but he can't hear what she's saying. She's reaching out to him from beyond the veil,
from somewhere far away, like Newark.
Yeah, Newark, which is where she's buried.
Yeah,
and Luigi decides that they should talk to that psychic who lives upstairs.
The psycho.
No, Mario says psycho.
Oh, yeah.
And I think maybe he suggests it first. I don't know. It all kind of jumbled together. What was the full title they gave the lady?
The old psychic lady with the evil eye who reads fortunes and knows everything before it happens.
That's the one.
And watch it with the psycho jokes, as I'm very sensitive.
She says this after she comes in the door.
Yeah.
Which we haven't mentioned yet.
Yes, so originally, Mario's saying that old psycho lady with the evil eye who reads fortunes and knows everything, and Luigi corrects, no, you mean psychic.
Yeah, that's right. And then the lady just, she knocks, or was it the doorbell? I guess it doesn't matter much. And Luigi just says, come in, instead of doing the usual thing where he goes up to open the door for the guest star.
Or asking Mario to get it before it knocks.
Yeah, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, okay, these were all shot out of order. From what I've read, the Zelda ones, the ones that are paired with Zeldas, were shot last, which is part of why a couple of them would have different ones during reruns, and why during first run they had a copy and paste. And so, like, not to spoil it, but remember we were confused about the fish and defective gadgetry?
Yeah.
That's a reference to one we haven't watched yet. Because it was filmed later. Yeah. So, keep your eye out for that. But anyway, the psychic shows up, and I'm the psychic lady with the evil eye who can blah, 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 blah. And watch it with the psycho cracks. I'm very sensitive.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the first act break is.
Yes.
Which, had it not been paired with a Zelda, is where it would have cut to the Mario cartoon.
And then it cuts back, and she's reading their fortune, but with playing cards.
Yeah, giant novelty playing cards.
And every time the heart comes up, it's like, this one's for romance. This one's very bad. Hands it to Mario. No, I don't want that. I want the romance one.
Yeah.
No, you'll take what I give you.
Yeah. They were talking over each other pretty well.
Yeah.
It was you could just follow it along well enough. And Luigi has to interrupt them because he's been dealt a straight royal flush.
Yeah.
And Mario complains that all he has is a broken flush. And the psychic's like, well, you're a plumber, aren't you?
Yeah. Which was a good line.
Yeah, there's a few of those in this.
Which switches to talking about the dreams with Mama Mario and connecting with her.
Luigi.
Yeah.
I did editing.
Or
Grandma Mario. Yeah, was your grandma? Yeah. She starts saying, oh, great spirits of the whatever, connect us to his grandmother.
Oh.
What's her name?
The other thing is, she goes, it's like, okay, we have to, we're gonna reach out to the living. You mean dead? It's all the same to me.
Yeah, it's all the same to me, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was your grandma's name? Mario. I'm named after her.
Her name is Grandma? And that's where it cuts to the cartoon.
No, it isn't. No, Mario. I'm named after her. And then they make a joke. She says something to Luigi that I didn't quite remember hearing. Because I was actually chuckling. We cut to the cartoon once Grandma has possessed her.
Oh, yeah.
Because they do that. She's back.
7 of spades. This is romance.
Is that good?
Romance, very good. This is not good.
Not good. Give it to him.
No, I don't want that. I want romance.
You'll take what I give you. Okay. A 9 of spades is nice with the 10 together. A 10. A king.
King?
A king.
I like it.
Very good.
Give me a
9 of hearts is romance.
I like that.
It's good for you.
I love that.
Ace of spades.
I don't want that.
Is that good?
Very
I don't
good.
want
I'll
that.
take it.
This is an ace of
Yeah,
hearts.
give me that.
Very good.
Hold it.
All right.
Hold it.
All right.
Hold it. I got a royal straight flush. 9, 10, jack, queen, king, ace of spades.
Really? All I got is a busted flush.
Well, you're a plumber, aren't you? These are my cards. Now concentrate. Are you ready? Give me your hands. I'm going to try to contact the living.
But Grandma's
Dead.
It's all the same to me on the ethereal plane. Now, empty your head of all thoughts.
okay, all set. I ain't got nothing in my head.
In the name of this tortured soul, Mario, I call forth the spirit What's her name?
Grandma Mario. I was named after her.
His name is Grandma. Must have been raised a lot as a kid.
Oh, yeah, but for other reasons. You know, I remember when he was 10, all the kids used to play Ring of Rosie around him.
Can we get back to what we're talking about here, to Grandma? I mean, we're talking long distance here. Let's go.
Easy does it, Grandma. I mean, Mario.
But then she faints down into her chair, gets back up, and starts
assaulting Mario.
Yeah, you slovenly bambino, you something, and that's when she's
shut up your face.
Shut up your face. Yeah, there was a bit of that after, so again, all runs together. That's where we cut to the Zelda cartoon, and then we cut back, and we finally learn why Grandma Mario is finding it so hard to rest in peace.
It's because neatness counts.
Yeah,
in the afterlife.
Yeah, she's apparently the laughing stock of, and just thumbs upwards. And Mario's like, Newark? No. Thumbs again.
Upper New York?
Upper Newark? Newark. Newark. Basically, she says, if you wash behind your ears and trim your nose hairs, maybe then I can finally get some rest, even in Newark.
This is where I kind of lost focus.
It's, the spirit leaves the psychic.
Oh,
and Mario says, finally, Grandma Mario's spirit is free.
Or at peace.
No, it's free because then the...
Oh, yeah.
And then the psychic's like, well, that's good, but mine isn't. That'll be $100, boys.
Yeah.
$100? Hey, it's a long way to Newark.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was a joke about that when they were about to connect. When the psychic and Luigi are having their digression about Mario's name, Mario's like, hey, can we get this show on the road? We're on long distance here.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of really, really good.
Yeah, these they had a good chemistry with the guest star.
Yeah.
Who was? you almost got it? Here, just try it. No?
No.
Okay. You don't have photosensitive sneezing.
And you do.
I do. I'm one of I think Dad does too.
The guest star.
Photosensitive sneezing runs strong in my family.
Is Elaine Kagan. And she has done quite an extensive work of one-episode gigs. But she's also wrote a couple of books. I'm sure she's also read some.
Probably.
I'm not going to go into where she was born, anything like that, but let's grab some highlights.
Cool.
Coming to America.
Oh, yeah, okay.
She was the telegraph lady.
I haven't seen that in years, but it was so funny.
Yeah. Goodfellas.
Makes sense.
Henry's mother.
I think they grabbed every Italian-American actor they could find for those movies.
The longest running thing that she had was the Trials of Rosie O'Neill.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
That trial went on forever. OJ was waiting his turn.
24 episodes of Carol Kravitz.
That I'm not familiar with.
Then Lois and Clark, one episode as Dr. Catherine Goodman.
Seems familiar, but I haven't watched Lois and Clark in a long time. Just recording a quick drop in here. This episode of Lois and Clark that she was in is The Man of Steel Bars, which, if you've seen Lois and Clark, it's the one where Clark, or Superman, gets arrested after everyone's convinced his powers are causing a heat wave that's obviously being caused by Lex Luthor. This psychic lady plays a scientist who's helping Lois uncover the truth, and it's also noticeable for having Sonny Bono as the mayor of Metropolis. I just thought that was neat enough to bring up.
From there, we have Touched by an Angel, one episode.
The perennial one-episode wonder.
Yeah. Family Law, one episode. CSI, Criminal Scene Investigation.
Criminal Scene?
Yes, Criminal Scene Investigation. It's the parody.
I always wondered what that stood for.
It's crime.
I know. Don't test me.
As Mrs. Clemens. I'm not sure if she was the murderer. I'm assuming so.
Usually it'd be a slightly higher profile guest star to be the murderer, but who knows?
Do you remember the TV show Alias?
Yes.
4 episodes as June Litvak.
Okay.
NYPD Blue. 2 episodes of that.
Any other, real highlights?
Law and Order Los Angeles. 10 Cent Pistol. Latest role was Shining Vale. 1 episode. And that was in 2023, so she is still active.
Oh, good for her. I thought she did really well in this.
So did I.
Where would you rank this live-action segment in our patented thirds system?
Upper middle third.
I think that's fair. It's a bit of a guest star comes and everyone talks, but there was good chemistry between them.
Yeah.
And, the seance bit helped.
Yes.
They weren't all just standing in the middle of the room. Again, the ultimate comparison to that is Cher's Poochie / the other Lost Dog episode with what's-her-name.
Yeah.
They both kind of run together. At least Cher's Poochie had the Lou Albano pretending to be a dog bit, but that isn't nearly as endearing as you'd think.
Not anymore.
No. So yeah, not too much to say. A pretty good one.
Yeah, good. We've been really lucky with the ones that we've been having lately.
Yeah, there've been a lot of strong ones fairly well in a row.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is episode 45 of this show, so they've really been doing these for a long time. And again, these Zelda paired ones were mostly filmed at the end of that run. Speaking of Zelda, you want to get into that right after we tell everyone that if you like the episode of the podcast, like this episode of the podcast.
If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe with passion.
Yeah.
More passion, more energy.
Faster and more intense.
Yeah.
Ring the bell so you get notifications every time there's a new episode.
Leave us a comment. Tell us why you like us.
And if you hate us, you can tell us why, but,
do it in a haiku.
Oh, there you go. And follow the show on your podcast catcher of choice and give it a rating on there, please.
Yeah.
It would help us reach out. We've finally started to really gain some more momentum again after our production break.
Yes.
Pardon me. Cat allergies.
Someone finally got to sneeze, lucky bastard.
Yeah, well, that was less of a sneeze and more of a gasp. All right, we'll get into the Zelda oh, jeez. Here we go. It all starts to fall apart.
The Zelda comic?
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that. I was like, should we do anything about the few issues of the Valiant comic? Because it kind of ties in with this show, but we can talk about that later. All right. We still haven't put it on the button because we're terrible people. But
nice job, hero.
Hey, excuse me, princess.
Stinging a Stinger.
This could have gone better.
It could have. It could have gone worse, but it could have gone a lot better.
They could have re-aired Cold Spells.
That would have been worse, I think. Jury's still out. And we're the jury. This is the deliberation process.
We don't believe in due process here.
No. So, Link is laying on his back while Catherine, the horse, takes him down a path. He's doing the she loves me not thing with a flower, and he comes up the loser.
Yeah.
Stupid flower. And then he hears a cry for help from an old man who may or may not be a fairly out-of-date caricature. But this guy, who seems to be some sort of junk peddler with a wagon, is being hassled by 3 burly, dumb guys who, they all have pointed Hylian ears, but these guys look almost more like trolls.
Hired goons?
Yeah. Spoiler. Yeah. And Link shows up to save the guy, and a pretty good fight scene ensues because Link, when he's fighting human opponents, he's just fighting to disarm.
Yeah.
So the first guy comes at him with a cartoon caveman club,
And Link jumps up, slices through the club. The guy swings down. Half the club is there. The other half comes down and beams him on the head.
Yep. And then the next guy says out loud, he's got a pitchfork with a missing middle prong, luckily. And he's like, duh, I'll pin him to the tree. And he throws it like a spear, and Link just holds up his sword, cuts the spear in half, and each side embeds in a tree on either side of Link.
Yeah.
And then the other two guys decide to run away, and the one guy is armed with what I assume is some sort of spiky mop.
Yeah, he's cleaning the streets of good guys.
I guess. Like, I assume it's a farming tool. They all looked like farming tools, except the club.
That's to tenderize the meat.
I suppose so. And, but the guy drops his, spiky rake thing and pulls a sideshow bob.
He throws it in front of himself, then runs into it.
Yeah. Well, I think he threw it up behind himself, but he was facing Link, and then he turns around to run away and runs right into it.
Yeah.
And then the other guy trips over him. And yeah. Job well done.
Link starts talking with the junk peddler, who says behind him, and Link aims behind and hits the rope that the first guy, the club guy, is trying to use.
He's always at the club, that guy.
Yeah. Trying to use to lasso Link. Lucky miss.
Yeah, but well, as we've seen from Sing for the Unicorn and later in this episode, those zap bolts, they'll hurt a human, but they won't disintegrate them or send them to the evil jar or anything. Pardon me, I'm drying out here again. I forgot my water upstairs. But so the guy introduces himself. Sleaze Nose is the name, and peddling's my game. And, he's fairly deferential to Link and wants to gift him a brand new sword.
Yeah, a fantastic sword. One worth the cost of a kingdom.
Yeah, but for you, a gift. And Link, is happy to accept the gift, but realizes as he tries to put the sword in his scabbard that, I already have a sword. And the peddler is, kind enough to take it off his hands.
Well... yeah.
Which is dumb because, you can't just have a spare sword.
Yeah. Why would you have a spare sword? You're obviously never going to need it.
Well, Link is reluctant to trade up his sword he's been using for the whole show, but Sleaze Nose tells him that the new sword makes you irresistible to the ladies.
Even princesses?
Especially princesses. I can't do it's kind of a high... It's like Len Carlson's Ganon voice without the growling.
Especially princesses.
It's kind of in that Burt Raccoon kind of range. Especially princesses. Anyhow.
Whoops. I forgot. I already have a sword.
Here, I'll take your old one. You won't need it anymore.
Gee, I don't know. It's been a pretty good sword.
Yes, but this sword is much better. For instance, it makes whoever carries it irresistible to ladies. If you know what I mean.
Even princesses?
Especially princesses.
Help me!
It's a deal. Oh, boy!
There's a sucker born every minute.
Hey, we want a bonus. You didn't tell us how good he was.
All right, a bonus it is, but don't worry. Without this sword, he'll never be that good again.
Coincidentally, Princess Zelda is being chased by some, whatever the hell they were, those flying eyeballs. Patras.
Yeah.
Nearby, he hears her scream, and he runs off with the new sword, and all of the thugs get back up and demand a bonus for their part in the scam.
They didn't expect him to be that good.
All right, a bonus it is, but don't worry. Without this sword, he'll never be that good again. So, yeah, the whole thing was a scam to get a hold of Link's sword because, as we learn later, Sleazenose is planning to sell it to Ganon himself.
Yeah.
Which is a bold play, Cotton. We'll see how it works out.
Yes. Spoilers, it doesn't.
It does not. But Link runs to save Zelda from the Patras. He goads them into attacking him. They start zapping at him with their eye beams, and the first one he tries to deflect with his sword, immediately breaks the sword in half.
Yeah.
The sword looked nice. It's a kind of a slightly jewel-encrusted scimitar-looking thing.
Yes.
But, yeah. It breaks. Link gets zapped in the leg by the Patcher Beam, which knocks him over.
Zelda tries to save Link by swatting at them.
Yeah, did she have anything, or...
No.
No, because they almost immediately are... She's knocked over too, isn't she? Or something?
Yes.
Before Ganon and the Moblins appear.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Ganon and a couple of Moblins do appear to capture them. And without Link's sword, Link is temporarily at a disadvantage.
Yes.
So we zip cut down to the dungeon.
Yes.
Or it's Ganon's throne room, but it has those gates to the dungeon.
Yeah.
We see Link and Zelda chained up to a wall, and next to them is a skeleton that's sometimes there and sometimes not.
Yeah.
Depending on which background painting they use. And Ganon's basically celebrating because, now that I've captured both of you at the same time, there'll be no one to rescue the other one.
Yeah.
And he can ransom the princess for the Triforce from the king, who does not appear in this episode.
No.
But a Moblin comes in and mutters something to Ganon, and Ganon uncharacteristically just says, "Show him in." So apparently Sleazenose has wandered all the way through the underworld to this skull castle, which is in its own Mist Valley Void thing. It's the same background painting from Sing for the Unicorn.
Yes.
So we can confirm that Ganon's throne room is in this Skull Mountain. We'll call it Death Mountain, but it isn't the way Death Mountain is portrayed in even Zelda 1. But Sleazenose is in, wants to sell Ganon the sword for 2,000 rupees?
Yes.
Or even, I think it was just 1,000.
1,000. Then he went down to 250. Or
500, 250.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ganon's like, "That's outrageous." He's like, "Well, how about 30? How about 0? And he has the guards seize Sleazenose, and Sleazenose and Link and Zelda get thrown into the pit to be fed to Goma.
Yeah.
The big crab spider with the big eye. And since none of them have a bow, it's going to be a tough fight. Or Link's sword. Meanwhile, Ganon heads off to
steal the Triforce.
Yeah, which he does. He's riding on his big bug thing again.
Yeah.
And he's accompanied, by 2 Moblins and 2...
skeletons.
Yeah, Stalfos, who are leaping for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it was supposed to be Tektites in the storyboards. But Zelda, Link, and Sleazenose have to pool their resources, by which they turn Sleazenose upside down when he refuses to empty his pockets. Now, I'm pretty sure I thought I saw a miniature bomb fall out of his pockets, but that never comes up.
No.
So that must have just been, here's some model sheets for crap people have pulled out of their pockets in this show.
Yeah.
Along with an apple core and a paperclip and stuff.
Yeah.
But they do find lock-picking gear. So they have Sleazenose work on the lock while they distract the Goma.
Zelda has rope. Link has
one boomerang. Yeah. Which they make the show of them pulling out of their pockets, and then they enlarge, playing the doo-doo-doo-doo sound.
Always a good sound to hear.
Yeah. Zelda lassos the mandible of the Goma and immediately starts getting swung around. And Link uses the boomerang to knock a stalactite off of the ceiling. Is it stalactite or stalactite? I think it's stalagmite with a G and stalactite with a C.
I don't know. I know it's tight and might.
Yeah. No, yeah, because, I knew that one, because stalactites have to hold on tight. I think it's C for ceiling. I think that's another way I've heard it. There's so many mnemonic devices.
You're right, it's stalactite.
Yeah, C for ceiling and holds on tight to said ceiling that the C is for.
Yeah.
Isn't that easy, children?
And G is for ground, and might means it's hard to push.
Well, I mean, once you've figured out one, the other one is easy anyway.
But what's the one that comes out horizontally?
I don't know. So the stalactite cracks away and lands on Goma's eye, which is its weak spot. And then Zelda, who's been spinning around the thing, having a freak out for a while. It turns out she has been wrapping it up, even though it didn't look like it until the end.
Yeah.
And she finally flies away and gets caught by Link.
Who asks for a kiss, but she's too nauseous.
Yeah. Yeah, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
And Sleazenose, meanwhile, out loud exposits to the audience after he picks the lock that he can get away and leave them locked inside. But of course, Link was standing right behind him.
Yeah.
You were saying? It's like, why did he say it out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah, real, now's my chance type stuff. But they get out, and they somehow beat Ganon to Hyrule Castle. It's not explained how. And they're in the room with the Triforce, and they brought Sleazenose with them for some reason.
Yeah.
Presumably, they're going to keep putting him in danger until either he's killed horribly or he's of some use to them.
Yes.
Which they quickly make him be.
Yeah.
The Triforce tells them... Shit, what did it say? It was some rhyme about how they have to use natural means to fight Ganon. And it's so obtuse to the children that Sprite the Fairy comes in to explain it to them by basically restating it.
Yeah.
But hey, we were just thinking we hadn't heard from Sprite the Fairy in a while. Let's see. Yeah, the Triforce of Wisdom advises them to use natural means.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, well, let's see. Here we go. When magical means will not suffice, use natural means as your device. And then Link is like, huh? What do you mean? So I'm reading an actual transcript. And then Sprite just comes in and says, are you dense or what? But there was like a half space. It was like, are you dense or what? Sure, you see, Ganon has more magic than we do right now. We can't fight him with magic. We have to use natural weapons. You mean like bugs and stuff? Exactly. It's like, wow, way to spell it out for the kids. Also, they call Link's sword a Chris sword. I have no idea why. It's the only time it's ever called that in anything. Crissord, Chris sword. It's like, what the hell does that mean?
It's a sword formerly owned by Chris without an H.
Yeah. More's the pity.
Yeah.
But they put Sleazenose in like a beekeeper outfit and have him collect beehives and crap. And Link digs up ants. And they put ants in a box.
Yeah.
And it's time for some Home Alone style shenanigans with catapults.
Yes.
So as Ganon approaches, Sleazenose comes up with a white flag. Ganon is rightly surprised to see him.
Yes.
What are you doing here? You're supposed to be crab food. And Sleazenose is going to present him with the Triforce of Wisdom as a token of his loyalty to join his side. And yeah, I get one of my favorite Ganon line reads when Sleazenose says he has a present for Ganon. And Ganon's like, a present? For me? Why? Just such a great left turn from that.
You were supposed to be crab food by now! I got away, and then I came back here to get you a present, your evilness.
A present? For me? Why?
I want to be on the winning team. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it turns out it's wasps, and Ganon and the two skeletons are being stung by the wasps.
Yeah.
Apparently, skeletons are susceptible to bug stings.
Yes.
Maybe that's how they died in life, and they're just having traumatic flashbacks.
Oh, they were all allergic to bees.
Yeah. Oh, not the bees.
Oh.
But, and then...
Have you ever watched Wicker Man?
I watched most of it. The old one. The good one. I've only seen clips of the the mimetic one.
Of the Nick Cage?
Yeah. I saw most of the Christopher Lee one.
I've seen all of the Chris Cage. Nick Cage one. I enjoyed it. It was funny.
It's not supposed to be.
But that's why I enjoyed it.
Yeah, hell, fair enough. That's why we're here.
It's like the Minecraft movie.
I haven't seen that yet.
Neither have I.
I don't really plan on it. But anyway, Link is in a tree, and what does he do from the tree? Oh, no, he just swings down, grabs his sword from Ganon, who's been holding it the whole time.
Instead of keeping it safe, so Link can't get it, he's like, oh, I'm just going to parade this around.
I think he was. I think it was a trophy. Like, here's your proof that I've killed your hero.
Yeah.
It's not his head on a pike, but, that's because his head is currently being digested by my Goma.
Yeah.
Not that I stayed to make sure, because I'm a supervillain.
If I could have laser beams, that would be great.
Yeah. So, Link's got his sword back. He doesn't use it because Zelda is catapulting beehives from the castle onto Ganon, and then they all just leave.
Yeah, they just run away.
Yeah.
It's not like Koopa leaving where he's just like, well, I'm leaving because I'm just a coward. No, they were being assaulted by bees.
Yeah, and apparently that's enough. Ganon couldn't, I don't know, shoot fire from his hands.
Yeah.
Feel like he's done that before. I know his teleportation powers are limited in the overworld, as we've established, but I don't know about the rest of his magic.
Maybe he just needs to focus, and that wasn't giving him the chance to focus.
That's fair. But that's, it's like how a Green Lantern ring will instinctively do a shield when Green Lantern is attacked. They don't have to say, or think, do a shield. It's an automatic response from drills. I don't know. You
really think Ganon has been practicing?
Well, he's no amateur. He's a pro.
According to his best friend.
The Triforce of Power is his best friend.
Yes.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. But.
Or someone who's just trying to go, it's like, well, I might as well inflate his ego a little.
Yeah. But no, Ganon and the skeletons are stung enough by these bees that it's time to run away.
Yeah.
I think Ganon could just tell which way the wind was blowing this time.
Well,
Link didn't even have to fire a shot.
I could go back to the evil jar for 24 hours. Or I can have my burrito supper.
Yeah. So, Link and Zelda realize Sleazenose has disappeared. Link is worried because they left the Triforce unguarded. They go back and find it gone. They spot Sleazenose running out the door with it, but Zelda is uncharacteristically giggling. She hid the Triforce in that pile of dirty clothes that's always in Link's room.
Because neatness counts.
Yeah. And Sleazenose, it turns out he's carrying the box with the ants in it.
Yeah.
And he makes sure to tell the kids that's what they are, even though Zelda already did. He goes, ow, ants, ow, 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 ow. And Zelda says, that, Link, is how you sting a stinger.
Yeah.
Oh, no, because that was the bad pun, but before that, Zelda's like, we did it, kiss me. Which is, I'll put the clip in here, that's the one from this episode that's in the censored video.
We did it! Me!
But, and Link says, I'd be glad to, honey. And she's so put off by the bad pun that she leaves.
Yeah.
And then at the end, she makes the bad pun, and they just stand there laughing like idiots for about a second and a half too long.
Yes.
And that's stinging a stinger. the second worst episode of The Legend of Zelda so far.
Yeah.
I'd still like it more than Cold Spells because of the hackneyed cartoon tropes that that they call upon, the having to set natural style booby traps to fight the bad guys because your main weapon is gone is better than spring cleaning, pretending to be sick to get out of chores.
Exactly.
But, there are a lot of problems with this episode. It's kind of boring. The action sequences aren't up to much. The fight with the thugs is cool.
Yeah.
Because, Link's doing all that Batman stuff where he's not directly hurting them. Silver Age Batman.
Yeah. That action scene gave me a lot of promise right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was disappointed with the results.
Yeah. The fight with the Goma was fine.
Yeah,
but kind of standard.
And
it feels like that would have happened anyway. They would have tried zapping it, Link's sword would have got knocked away, then they would have done the same thing.
Yeah. And I was about to say it felt a little more rushed.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think that this could have been a little bit better with 5 more minutes of screen time.
Or 5 more better allocated minutes.
Yeah.
Instead of that montage of them getting bees and bugs and crap.
Yeah.
But, it's that kind of a cartoon. It's, we had a really good montage in the last Mario episode where they're trying to storm the tower.
Yeah.
That was good stuff. It even had like cheerful, dopey music, like do 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 do. It's like, that's not Zelda music.
No.
That's not nothing.
So it's something?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely the second weakest Zelda episode in my opinion.
That being said, still leagues above most of the Mario cartoon.
Very true. Not above the Mario cartoons we've been having lately. We've had some strong ones, and that's, I think, also is what makes this one stick out. This recording session started with the last episode, and that really put us on a bit of a high.
And it ends with this episode.
And this is a short one.
Yeah.
Okay. Into the cast. We got Jonathan Potts as Link, Cynthia Preston as Zelda, Len Carlson as Ganon, and I'm 99% sure he was Sleazenose, especially at the end where he started going, "Ow, bee ants." Wow, it's very similar to Ganon. "Ah, bees."
Yeah.
And Tabitha St.
Bees, my God.
My God. Tabitha St. Germain as Sprite the Fairy. The episode was written by Bob Forward, so we don't have to get into him anymore.
Yeah.
We don't do lore or filler. So, ratings.
Lore.
Yeah. Lore or data?
Yeah.
Now, I would give this 2.5 nauseous Zeldas out of 10.
Ooh. I didn't hate it that much. I'd give it 4 swords worth as much of a kingdom.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. But for you, a gift.
Yeah.
One of them is a gift. It should be 3, but I'm feeling generous.
Yeah. Plus, heroes can only hold 1 sword at a time.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what you're going to do with the other 3, but enjoy it.
Yeah. You could use them to fill a piñata after they're broken.
Oh, broken glass, broken glass, broken glass.
Broken glass. But that junk was still my best birthdays ever.
Oh.
It's letter time. Hey, it's time for another mailbag. We got some comments, we got some emails, and for once we got time, so let's get to it.
So, I want to apologize. We are now episode behind. It's all my fault. 100% my fault. I bought a trailer instead of recording an episode. Letter.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's not untrue. But I mean, the last episode was strong enough without a mailbag. This one, if I remember correctly, might not be able to make that claim. I haven't managed to pull the gold from it yet, but we'll see.
I feel like in an episode or two, there's some actual real gold coming out of it.
Well, we know there's an episode about real gold.
Oh.
Gold coins, that is.
Like the ones you get from the question mark?
Block? The question mark block?
Yes, question mark block.
No, not those at all.
Oh.
Actually, yes. You're 100% correct.
That it isn't those at all?
Yeah. No. Plus, you derailed my joke, which I was gonna try and say, regular gold, Mushroom Kingdom tea. It wouldn't have been funny, but it would have been something.
I mean, it might have been something.
It might have been something, but now we'll never know because it didn't make it.
Yeah, you might have been able to continue stringing it along until you go into a rap and Mama's gonna tie it in your hide.
That happened once.
Oh.
We don't have to tell them my freestyling story. We'll save that for when we're really desperate.
Ah, yes.
Plus, we're just about to the 10th anniversary of that story.
We are. Oh. I can't...
My God, 10 years of Disney Star Wars. 2 of them were good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you which 2.
Andor and The Mandalorian.
I meant 2 years out of 10.
Oh. This year and the first year.
That's probably about right. I'm a little behind, though. I've liked some of it, and some of it I haven't enjoyed.
I enjoyed season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian. I made it through the first half of season 3. I think. I enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett. I did not mind the Space Vespas.
No, of course you wouldn't.
I haven't watched Ahsoka.
I'm gonna watch that because I was a big fan of Rebels, and I know that picks up a lot of that. And a live-action Grand Admiral Thrawn is a good idea.
Yeah.
And plus, they did that thing. Dave Filoni, he'll cast these characters in the cartoons with the idea that if there was ever a live-action version, he could use those people in some cases.
Yes.
I know he did that on purpose with Bo-Katan. And whether or not he did that on purpose with Thrawn, with Mads Mikkelsen, I don't know, but it worked.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. And it really is neat that Hayden Christensen is sort of getting a second chance. He's still not a great actor, but at this point it's like, hey, it's him again.
Yeah.
And if that story where he watched the entirety of the Clone Wars is true, then he gets big respect from me for that. He's like, okay, I'm going to be picking up after this. I better see it all so I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure that made him feel a little underserved in his version of Anakin. It's like, wow, I could have been like this guy.
Yeah. Man, imagine if I was good.
Yeah. If I was playing a well-written character. Good-written character. Just like we're a good-written podcast.
Yeah. We are
speaking of good writing,
goodly rounded out.
We have any good written comments?
We have good
That's
typed.
Koopa the dog.
We have good typed comments.
Excellent. Let's do that.
Let's start with Lanola Cola.
Where did Lanola Cola comment from?
He's a rebel. Shorts. YouTube Shorts. Podcast clips.
Okay. Smart
Mario.
ass.
The short on YouTube. He's a rebel.
If you don't push those hashtags, you don't even have a half a chance. And our YouTube views have been tanking anyway.
Yeah, well, I remember when I was taught that Mario and Luigi helped Mushroom George Washington defeat the Koopa Coats, which was set to He's a Rebel, as made famous by. Hold for suspense. The crystals.
Yeah, I remember that too. But I mean, we didn't study it as extensively. We were too busy watching episodes of Canada, A People's History. Which, for some reason, didn't mention anything about the Mushroom Kingdom. But, that's kind of a bias thing.
Yeah, I do remember Hockey Night in Canada. Sadly, that was not last week.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
I mean, even if it had gone well, it wouldn't have been last week.
No.
Oh, well, maybe next time.
Yeah.
Other comments?
20 years. We do have one off the Spotify playlist thing.
You mean the Spotify version of the episode?
Yes.
Which episode?
Once again, this is going to be the Red Coop's Karami. The right to bear fire. The right to bear firearm. The right to bear fire flowers.
So it's on the Spotify version of episode 43?
3.
Yeah, we didn't get any comments on the new episode. Again, dead duck.
Yeah. And it was a good one. If you're listening to this one, stop, go back, listen to the last one. It was better.
Well, I'm not going to say that definitively, but 44 is one of my most recent favorites.
It is probably one of my favorites. Top third for sure. Well,
so what?
Mr. Cole, Jeunet, the Washington voice is one Mon away from being a full-blown Jamaican. Mon.
I don't remember the Washington voice that well, but I don't know if I agree with that necessarily.
No.
It was very low and gravelly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll have to go back and check it out, and if I think it holds water, I'll put a little clip here that either proves or disproves Cole's point.
It's gonna take hours to unfreeze all your army, General Washington.
And Redcoat Cooper attacks at dawn. Someone must warn the citizen mushrooms.
And that someone can ride this leg.
Luigi, it's up to you. I gotta stay and defrost General Washington's army.
But I get seasick on a horse.
Are you a patriot or a coward?
I think it proves my point that we don't know what we're doing here.
No, but what I am doing here is opening up some emails. So our first one from Dr. Derp. The Trojan Koopa / Texas Tea or Wonder Toadstool. Oh, yeah, because she went super, the princess, like Wonder Woman.
Hey, John and Aaron.
Cool. Everything is set for tonight's sleepover sampler of civic espionage. Let's check in on the plumbers. Thoughts on Texas Tea? Mario Brothers, my name is Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. A cute premise simply done. Very predictable, but amusing. A good example of how well Lou and Danny play off each other, and the twist with Edison was welcome. It certainly was by us.
Yes.
If I had a nickel for every Beverly Hillbillies call back in the show. Thoughts on the Trojan Koopa? I truly do appreciate how ambitious the soundtrack has gotten as of late. Before it was the inclusion of the William
Tell.
I just watched I know. I just watched a Star Wars documentary, The Old Empire of Dreams. It's on Disney Plus now. And they swapped out a bunch of shots for the post-2011 Blu-ray versions. So a documentary made in 2004 has blinking Ewoks. So that's not right. But anyway, so Wilhelm is how I read that. Before, it was the inclusion of the William Tell Overture. Also, that is not how you spell William. That's Willem, like Willem Dafoe. That's why I read it incorrectly. And now its inclusion of Ride of the Valkyrie is very nice. Probably the best Mario cartoon to come from the Kim Possible guys yet. Unsurprisingly, it's also the most Kim Possible-esque one we've seen yet. It's a deceptively familiar premise for a myriad of reasons. The quote, rescue the princess plot, the Wile E. Coyote gags, written here as Will E. Coyote. Toad even alludes to his role as the mushroom retainer. All the lore, none of the filler, depending on how one defines filler. Well, we have a pretty loose definition, but we didn't define it as such here. This may be the snappiest Mario cartoon I've seen yet. It lacks the Kino animation of Toad Warrior, but it makes up for it with economic pacing reminiscent of the tightest Disney classics, such as Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, also from the Kim Possible guys. The only downside is, surprisingly enough, the cover song. Abrupt start, abrupt end, barely recognizable, and the restored audio quality does no favors. No, it does not. You can barely hear the dialogue through it, but I mean, it's off a crusty old home recording. Only thing more abrupt is Super Toadstool at last, albeit with colors more inspired by Wonder Woman than any conventional Fire Toadstool palette. A welcome surprise to a surprising episode. Favorite joke? This is a very gag-driven cartoon, but old reliable lines like, "And we can't get in there either," and "Next time I'll upgrade to first class," are welcome. Unintentional foreshadowing? Including the airship foreshadowing from the previous episode, we can add Super Toadstool as seen in New Super Mario Bros. Wii onward. 73 to date. Updated top 5, the cartoon squeaks between the Mark of Zero and the Unzappables for me. Very simple, but very fun. Question of the week. It's King Koopa's birthday and you have exactly $4,000 to spend on something that won't encourage his war criminal tendencies. What do you get him? I would treat him to a cruise on the USS Axiom, the crown jewel of the B&L fleet. Next time, we're returning to Hyrule at last. Be careful where you go gift shopping, and I'll see you there. Okay, $4,000 to get King Koopa a birthday present.
You drain brains got me a present? Why?
Faulty weaponry.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to go for it. Faulty weaponry. Guns that blow up in your face when you pull the trigger. Cartoon style.
A full field of fake fire flowers.
Yeah. Swords that are rubber. Or made out of cardboard with a ruler taped inside.
Hey, those do hurt.
I know, but they're not lethal. Yet.
Not yet.
We survived.
Maybe you did.
Oh no, there's a full podcast showing that you did as well.
Oh, well, I'll have to listen to it sometime. I bet it sucks. So instead of not encouraging his war criminal tendencies, you're just curtailing it.
Exactly.
So I would get him... I don't know. Get him a piano, see if he's as good a singer as his movie counterpart.
Toadstool. Yeah. That is awful.
That would be trickier.
Oh! Yeah. Try it. It's gross.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be the same tune.
Do it, but with Toadstool.
But it doesn't work because it's a 3-syllable. Well, it's not, but it almost is. Toadstool. You could just say stool, 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 toad, stool, 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 stool. No one can object to that.
Oh, I remember my first Toadstool.
Plus, we know he's a rapper of some renown.
I would disagree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Get him, it's a bit of foreshadowing, but get him a mine full of gold coins and just let him sit there and go gold crazy. He seems more preoccupied with that than anything else. Get him another beanstalk.
Can I get him a carpet? Not a flying one. Just a very nice Persian carpet. Actually made in Persia.
Yeah, which might exist in the mushroom world.
Well, but China does.
Yeah, it's right next to Pasadena.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so it's either trick him with fake weapons, give him so much money that he won't bother with anything else, or trinkets.
A gift card to the Bay.
There you go.
Oh.
A gift card to the Zeller's restaurant.
R.I.P. Zeller's restaurant.
$4,000 in Canadian Tire money.
You could almost buy a boat with that.
Yeah, but who's gonna fly it, kid? You?
Oh.
Okay, I think that's about it for that one. So, on to the next one. Stinging a Stinger / The Great Hereafter, or Don't Summon the Dead on Tuesdays at Night. Okay, where's that from? I've heard that again recently.
I don't know.
Okay. I love when we show our whole ass and don't get the reference, but
yeah,
it's kind of fun because usually we're the ones making obtuse references that only we get. Like if we do a Homestar Runner quote without putting in the clip.
Or the couple times where I allude back to the Spirit movie in 2008, 9, whatever.
And we might be the only confirmed viewers of that.
Yeah.
At least to people we know. All right. Pleasant morrow, John and Aaron. We're back at Hyrule at last, and the bros are indulging in a seance. Let's snoop. Thoughts on the Great Hereafter? I can't tell if it's a talent or a curse to sleep sitting up like that. It's a talent or a curse. Credit where it's due, this is my preferred choice between the two Consult a Psychic rappers. We get to see the Mario Brothers playing Fizbin, the comedy isn't self-congratulatory, the seance is genuinely spooky, and the premise feels fully taken advantage of. Perhaps the performance of the psychic is a little hammy once she gets possessed, but what else could we expect? Also, brief interlude, do you know what Fizbin is?
Isn't that from Has-Been Hotel?
No. It's from an old episode of Star Trek. I can't remember which one. Kirk and them are being held prisoner by some guy. Oh, it's from the gangster episode, Piece of the Action. The mob toughs are playing poker, and Kirk is like, poker, that's for wee babies. And starts teaching them this card game that he's bullshitting called Fizbin, just to get them distracted enough for Spock to sneak up and nerve pinch the guy. It was a good bit. Thoughts on Stinging a Stinger? Well, if there's one way the cartoon beat the games to the punch, it's in giving us a truly memorable shopkeeper character on par with Beetle and the Happy Mask Salesman. Surely you don't mean Sleazenose. Somewhere in the shuffle of trends like twist villains and redeemable villains, we lost the art of villains that are obviously evil to the audience but not the main protagonists. From one perspective, I can see this getting tiring quite easily, but from another perspective, it's incredibly charming. Heaven knows this episode wouldn't be the same without Sleazenose. I believe that's how it's spelled. Chewing the scenery. Yeah, I'm sure that's the way it's spelled.
It's pretty sure it's missing the X and the backwards S. And a couple of those weird accents over the letters. One line, two dots, 15 squiggles.
Sleazenose.
Yes.
It's funny. The pre-commercial break premise, that is, Link being conned by a phony sword salesman and having to escape the underworld would be a great premise in itself, but the added wrench of Sleazenose being part of the escape party elevates this beyond the tried and true premise initially teased. In fact, it's amusing that Sleazenose is forcibly kept in the party long after the escape is pulled off. This is just a very satisfying tune. It's not quite as masterful as The White Knight, but it's pretty timeless and edges out Doppelganger as my second favorite episode of the Zelda tunes. Well done. What
we disagree.
The hell are you talking about?
People are allowed to have the wrong opinion.
Yeah. Holy shit. No, okay, fine. If you like it, you like it. I find it one of the weaker ones myself, as you've no doubt already heard by this point.
Unless John decides to put sprinkle in some flavor and start off with letter time.
Oh, that'd be a way to do it. Favorite moment. Link versus the bandits was genuinely awesome. Yeah, we did like that. It was very well choreographed. Because you got to be careful having a guy with a sword fight guys and nobody gets hurt. Permanently. Perhaps not as dynamic as your average Octorok fight, but very satisfying. Only the climactic trap can compare. Also, Zelda asking to be kissed is a welcome change of pace. Unintentional foreshadowing? I don't think I can count Sleaze Nose as foreshadowing to future shopkeepers, seeing as even the original NES game, if I recall correctly, had the occasional con man hiding in a cave, but I'm vaguely certain that the honeybee gambit is evocative of something you can pull off with honeybees in Breath of the Wild. I'm pretty sure you can. You can, arrow down a beehive that if it lands next to, a moblin or whatever, they'll start stinging it. And I know you can do it in Tears of the Kingdom by actually fusing it to your sword, but that's a little more dangerous. And yeah, in the NES game, there's at least one cave where after you blow it open and walk in, the guy just says, "Pay me for door repair," and subtracts 50 rupees. Or maybe I'm mixing it up with Smash Brothers. In any case, I'll count this as foreshadowing to both Smash Brothers and the elaborate traps of Breath of the Wild. 19 to date. Updated top 5. Thinking it over, I think this is the first tune since the White Knight that I actually like more than Toad Warrior. At the moment, that would make my Yop 10 as follows. The White Knight, Stinging a Stinger, Toad Warrior, The Mark of Zero, The Trojan Koopa, The Unzappables, Doppelganger, Mario Meets Koopzilla, Sing for the Unicorn, Mario and Joliet. That is an interesting list.
I'm very happy to see that Stars in Their Eyes isn't on that list.
That's true. It finally got nudged down. Yeah. I'll take Stinging a Stinger for that.
Yeah.
Question
Even
of the week.
Even if it is a little too high.
Yeah. Oh, well. At least, at least it's not Stars in Their Eyes.
Yeah. Your
Question
favorite
of the week.
Star Trek II parody.
It's up there. It's one of my favorites. Like I said, alongside Star Trek Into Darkness, it might be the best Wrath of Khan parody I've ever seen.
Oh.
Your co-host is possessed by a spirit for the next 24 hours. Whom has possessed them? In my mind, it would be amusing to see you both possessed by Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I hope you mean the rapping ones from the 90s Alice in Wonderland live-action show, because that would be something. How's your roller skating?
Terrible.
Excellent.
You'd think the queen would want something soft and fluffy like a heart-shaped pillow, not a wooden heart.
Why? She's hard-hearted enough to keep Valentine's Day to herself.
Well, I'm sure she just wants a little cedar jewel box shaped like a heart.
Right, the extra numbers in case we make a mistake.
Sure, the queen knows just because somebody gets you something big doesn't mean they like you anymore.
After all, how do you measure how much someone likes you?
Looks like the queen measures it at 7 feet.
That's our queen. She figures the bigger, the better.
If big things are so good, don't think I'm dumb because I misunderstood. But is the big bad wolf better than Little Red Riding Hood?
These big things are so crackerjack. I finally think that I'm on the right track. The giant at the top of the beanstalk was nicer than Jack. No matter how the cards are stacked, bigger is better, fact is fact. If you don't understand, keep it under your hat. Bigger is better, and that is that.
Contrariwise, I have been feeling Tweedle-ish myself since I attended Madame Leota's live reading of Batman Arkham, the Mad Hatter. That's logic. Where was I again? Oh yeah, pizza. I could go questing for some pizza. See you next time. Okay, so yeah, if you had to be possessed for 24 hours...
I think you get to choose who possesses me, I get to choose who possesses you.
Yeah.
So they have to be dead.
Yeah, but they don't have to be relatives, because that would be too easy.
Yeah.
But, let's see, for you... I would say You should be possessed by Adam West.
Good job, old chum.
Yeah, except he would say chum.
Yeah. Well, good job, old chub.
Oh. Okay. So, you're going to be possessed by a suicidal crack addict, and you'll inexplicably be on a rooftop. See how that works out for you. Enjoy yourself.
I will, old chub.
Oh, God, okay.
That was a good callback.
Okay, yeah, but no,
What, that was like 15 years ago we made that joke?
I think so.
Walking past the church on our way to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
But not the time that we disobeyed every childhood rule.
Oh, yeah, take a ride from strangers, candy from strangers, talking
Money
to strangers.
from strangers.
Money from strangers. And guarding a stranger's storage locker.
Yeah. There's like a good 15 minutes where I'm like, huh, so this is how we die.
Yeah. Well, you haven't been proven wrong yet.
Yeah.
History can repeat itself. Okay, Who would I be possessed by, you dick?
Oh.
Old chub. God. I love it when you remind me that I hate you.
Meanwhile, I was gonna choose either, Oh. God damn it. Still alive. Still alive.
Going down the mental checklist.
Oh. Oh no.
And for any viewers who don't know, which is most of them, Aaron once dressed up as the Adam West Batman for a local Comic-Con. It was a kick-ass costume. And it's just a particular favorite version of Batman for both of us, but especially Aaron.
Meanwhile, everyone you've dressed up as is still alive.
It's true. I'm much more contemporarily minded.
Yeah.
Plus, it's basically been either I've dressed up as a person who doesn't exist in the technical sense, like the Captain Marvel, Shazam Captain Marvel, or the Fifth Doctor.
Yeah, and he's still alive. Oh no, George Harrison or John Lennon. Not sure which one yet.
That would be interesting. I could just sit there the whole time and talk about how every song I ever wrote was terrible. Because I'm one of those people who thinks everything I've done except what I'm currently doing is terrible.
Correction, Kevin Conroy.
Oh, that would be cool. So we're just deciding which dead Batman actors would each be possessed by.
Yes.
All right, well, thanks everyone who wrote in. And let's warp whistle sound back to the episode.
All right. If you want to reach out to the show, you can leave a comment on the YouTube version of this episode.
You can email us at theanimatedarcade@gmail.com.
You can hit us up on Blue Sky, Facebook, Tumblr, and TikTok at The Animated Arcade.
You can run across us in the street, give us a firm handshake, crisp high five, and say we're doing a good job.
Or at least tweet that at us,
Yes.
at Animated Arcade on Twitter X. All right, prediction time. The live action segment next time is called The Painting.
Art auction?
Art auction. Could be. I'm going to go with Haunted Painting, like Ghostbusters 2 style.
Okay, I like that. It's going to be the return of the painter, isn't it?
Probably not. I don't know, maybe. Maybe it'll be some guy who's going to actually do a portrait of Mario or Luigi.
Yeah.
And then after they pay him, it turns out there's stick figures or something.
Hear me out. Mario and Luigi Bob Ross styling it.
Oh, that could be... Well, we kind of had a bit of that.
No, I mean like actual like...
Oh, like addressing the viewer?
Yeah.
And we're going to have 3 happy little pepperonis.
Yeah.
I see. I could be in on that. That could be fun.
Oh.
Okay, and the Mario cartoon next time. Quest for Pizza.
We've already had like a Camelot parody.
Yeah. Well, I think it's named after the movie Quest for Fire, so I'm thinking caveman stuff.
Oh. Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, it's going to be Koopa leading a tribe. They're going to like steal the fire, and so the cave mushrooms can't make pizza. In their stone pizza oven.
They should move to an electric pizza paisano.
Yeah. Well, remember, as we've discussed, you can't cross-contaminate technology between the different mushroom worlds.
Yeah, that hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah. For some strange reason, besides, of course, just the rules of the setting.
Yes.
But yeah. So, yeah, I think caveman stuff is a pretty good guess, but not the caveman stuff we'll get in the Mario World cartoon.
No.
But we'll have to find out just how prehistoric it all is next time. I'm John.
I'm Aaron.
And always remember, this is the Animated Arcade, and the airwaves
are our waves.
So until next time, everybody,
do the Mario!
Oh, that was my shoulder popping.
Thanks for listening to the Animated Arcade. Our theme song is After School Keyboard Club by Xennial, sourced from freemusicarchive.org. Our logo and thumbnail art is done by Shell, who you can follow on Instagram at YourMidnightCrafter. The cover songs from the Mario-themed episodes are sourced from the Super Mario Bros. Super HQ channel on YouTube. These links, as well as the music used in our Zelda-themed episodes and all of our social media accounts, are found in the description.